Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Take2Rebuilds. There's not going to be any car work being done right now in this video. I'm going to go ahead and say that up front. I'm sorry. I had full intentions on doing work and trying to figure out why the tach and oil pressure weren't working, but I think I have it narrowed down to a wiring problem. But that wiring is so shit, I don't even know where to start. I'm kind of scared to touch it, to be honest with you, and it kind of scares me to leave the battery hooked up. That's how bad it is. It's got like inline fuses in a lot of places. It's spliced to grounds that just go into like brackets for the things that it's supposed to be powering, and it's got weird like relays zip tied to things. It's just, I don't want to. No, I'm not doing it. I would probably be here for days and still not know where everything went. So I'm either going to A, get a new wiring harness, which I'm going to do either way if I swap the motor or not. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to pull this motor out anyways just to clean it all up and fix what little issues it has, like the valve seals. Probably don't have to take it out to do the valve seals, but I'd like to take it out just to make sure I can have everything right and the way it's supposed to be. And then, actually there are no other options. That is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a new wiring harness eventually, I just don't know when. And when I do that, it doesn't come with the plugs for the emissions equipment, the smog pump, all that other bullshit that I don't need. Arkansas doesn't test for emissions. I don't have to pass smog. I don't have to do any of that shit. So, but I need the chip to tune that out. It's like $250 to get it custom done, or I can pay $200 and get the equipment to do it myself. I don't even have to do any soldering. So it's kind of dumb to me to pay that much money for a one-time thing, or pay for something and learn how to do something, and then whenever I do put the 383 in here, I'll already kind of be familiar with the programs and stuff to be able to tweak the settings and do what I need to do. But anyways, that's why I'm not messing with that. I know that was kind of a long tangent, but anyways, that we're on the topic on the 383. Now that we're on the topic of the 383, my dad talked to his friend, and we came up with a price. It's $1,000. I was hoping for a little bit less. I can still swing that, but with the other, all the rest of the amount of work that needs to be done to this car, that's not really the top priority. Top priority is the floor pans for sure, because I want to be able to get the floor pans put in. I want to be able to clean up the interior, put new interior back in it to where it actually looks like a car again. And don't get me wrong, the motor's important, and we will get to that. But you think $1,000 for the motor, we're still gonna have to tear it apart and see if everything's okay. If it's not okay, you're looking at whatever the cost of new stuff is. I don't know what cam and heads he's got on it. It's probably something a little bit more than I want to put in here. So that's $1,000 plus whatever it's going to be to get the motor running, plus $600 for the wiring harness, which isn't bad. It's brand new TPI harness, plug and play. Rip the old stuff out, put the new stuff in. It's for mass airflow cars, which I think mine is. I don't think it's speed density. It could be, but it shouldn't be that hard to convert it over to mass airflow anyways. I feel like, I don't know, there's a lot of argument with the tuner people. Speed density is better, mass airflow sensor is better. I don't know, I'll have to do some more research and figure out what I want to do, but either way, the harness uses the mass airflow. Would it be hard to convert it? Probably not. Like I said, I don't know. But I will need the chip burning equipment, which is another $250, so you're looking at almost $1,000 for the harness. $1,000 for the motor, $1,000 for the harness, if I want to use the TPI stuff, which I'd kind of like it to be fuel injection. I don't know the first thing about carburetors, but that might also be a learning experience. Either way, it's going to be a learning experience for me. Carburetor would obviously be a lot simpler because I would literally just put an adjustable fuel pressure regulator on it, and that's probably all I would have to do. Well, probably not all I would have to do, but that would probably get me running, and it would be more powerful than what's in it, just because it doesn't have as many limitations and things like that. But that's beside the point. We're getting a little off track here. I found a 4th gen rear end, like 80 or not. Wow, no, 98 to 02 rear end. I can get it with a posi-track with either the 323 gears that I already have according to the factory code list, or a 342 or a 343. I think it's 342. Yeah, it's 342 with a posi-track, which is good. It should be the newer posi-track unit that doesn't have any clutches, meaning it won't wear out, with the LS1 style rear brakes, okay? But then that leaves the front brakes. Well, I don't want to leave the stock front brakes if I'm going to have the rear brakes are going to be better than the front. That doesn't make any sense. So I can get an LS1 style front end kit that comes with the hubs, with the longer wheel studs. It comes with the modified factory spindles where they tweak them or do whatever they do to them, and things like that. And the brackets already welded to it so that I can mount the calipers and caliper brackets and stuff like that. Well, mount the caliper bracket. You guys know what I mean. So I can do all that for around 400-ish. The rear end's 400, plus you think about 150 for freight shipping, which then I'd have to figure out where to send it to, because they can't get here, I promise you. They can't really drop it off at my apartment either, because I feel like that'd cause a lot of issues. And they said you had to pay the driver up front, which I thought was kind of weird, but whatever. So you think about $550 for the rear. I don't know if it comes with brake hardware. I emailed Hawksons to see. They weren't very specific. It says, you know, I think it said complete rear end, but you know, it showed a picture of all the brake hardware. It showed a picture of a 3rd gen rear, but it said it was for reference only. They weren't too specific. I want to make sure before I just kind of throw money at something to make sure, because if it's $550 and I still have to get the brake hardware, which would probably be a good idea to get anyways, but you know, if it already has it, I can roll around with that for a little while at least. You know, that's stuff that I'm going to have to factor into the cost. But anyways, that'll match the front and rear brakes. They'll be way better. Even for a street car, it'll be a lot easier maintenance. It'll be a lot better stopping. I'll have to get a different proportioning valve for the master cylinder too, I think. But I can keep the stock master cylinder in lines, so that's a good thing. And the rear end that I'm going to get it without the traction control and the ABS and stuff, because this car doesn't have that. And I can still use like factory 3rd gen lines or something like that. I'll have to get the brake lines, but those shouldn't be too expensive. Anyways, and that'll cover the rear end, that'll cover the brakes, and that'll cover the engine. The transmission was already rebuilt by another company that the guy had that's supposed to be really good. Everybody says good things about them. Everybody says that they know what they're doing, which is good. That's what I want. What else is there? There's the interior. You know, new carpet's like $230. That's not a big deal. Floor pans, $350, $275-ish for the pan. And then I gotta weld it in, obviously. And then I gotta clean all of it up. I'm gonna clean all the metal up because it just looks and smells nasty still. I'm gonna clean all that up, and then I'm gonna use some kind of rust preventative. I'm gonna check on the back too. I guess that's one thing that I could have done today, but I don't really feel like pulling out nasty carpet again today. It doesn't look bad, but you know, that doesn't always mean anything. So, and I looked for factory seat covers to do it in black. You would not believe how much those things cost. It's like $450 for the whole seat set for just the fabric that goes over them. No foam, no nothing, just the fabric. That's too expensive. All I need is that seat. Well, the front seats, because the rear seats are black. You know, I don't want to pay, and even for just the front seats, it was like $320, $325, something like that. It's ridiculous to me. So I'm not paying that. I'll find me some 4th gen seats, or just find me, I don't know, I'll figure something out. But there's no way I'm paying that much. Oh, and I wanted to say, A lot of y'all probably haven't watched the video into this far point, but as of today we are at 45 subscribers. My last video we were at 34, so that's 11. That's pretty good for like a week and a half, 2 weeks for me. That's really good. I almost like quadrupled, or it's like what, 30%? It's like a 30% increase in like less than 2 weeks. That's pretty good. So anyways, I wanted to say that I appreciate y'all, and that I appreciate, you know, you subscribing, watching my videos and everything like that. And I, you know, obviously I like that you're watching them. But if you like this video, leave a like. If you disliked it, dislike it. You know, I'm trying to improve like everybody else. Subscribe if you want to see more, and if you'll hit that little bell, if you're on the computer. I don't think they have it on the mobile phones, but if you're on the computer, if you'll subscribe and hit that little bell, you'll get notified when I post new videos. If you're, you know, if you want to see them like right when they're posted or come out. And if you don't, that's fine too. You know, it's up to you. I'm not going to force you. I'm sorry that this video was a little boring. I just needed to kind of to talk out loud and get my plans out there, and I'd like to let you guys know what's going on. I know that I didn't work on the car today, but it's because I don't really have anything to do necessarily. I mean, I guess there's stuff that I could do, but there's no point, because I kind of got my hands tied with the floor pan. I don't want to clean up the interior trim pieces because they're just going to sit there and get dusty again. I can't put the interior back in because we have to do the floor pans. Can't do the floor pans until I get a welder. The gauge problem, I think, is a wiring problem. I don't want to touch the wiring because it is absolute garbage and it scares me in its current condition. And third, I can't do any of the door seals and stuff because I don't have the door seals. I didn't order them. And as for the rest of the stuff, it's not important, or I'm waiting on, you know, I'm waiting on the new motor to come in so I can figure out what's going on with that and what I need for it. I might just look at it and drop it in. Like, it's not, you know, it'd be cheaper to just drop it in and use a carb, to be honest. But at the same time, I'm a new school guy. I kind of like fuel injection. You know, there's a few little things that I could do, but it's not. Why do it right now? But this video has gone on long enough. I will see y'all in the next video. Hopefully I will have my door seals or something enjoyable for y'all to watch. I'm sorry that this was kind of boring, but like I said, I wanted to let y'all know and get my plans out there and kind of get it straight in my own head. I kind of got to talk to people to talk out loud to get stuff straight sometimes. But anyways, with all that being said, I'll catch y'all in the next video. I appreciate y'all for subscribing and watching my videos.